8 hidden places to get seeds that nurseries don't want you to know about. Listen up. Every single time you buy a seed packet at your local garden center, someone is making money off your ignorance. I'm talking about markups reaching 300%. That means a packet they paid 50 cents for is selling for $2 or more. The worst part? Professional growers, botanical garden experts, and master gardeners aren't shopping where you're shopping. They know something you don't. They have access to completely different sources, secret sources, free sources, wholesale sources that offer the same seeds at a fraction of the cost. My name is Adam Grove, and this is Backyard Crops. I've spent the last 15 years digging into how serious growers actually stock their gardens. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm revealing exactly where the insiders shop, why they guard these places like treasure, and most importantly, how you can access them starting today. If you grow anything, vegetables, herbs, flowers, anything, this information could save you hundreds of dollars every single year. Before we get into this, please hit that subscribe button. We release new strategies every single week here at Backyard Crops, and you definitely don't want to miss what we have coming. Drop a like on this video too. It genuinely helps us reach more gardeners just like you. Let's get started.
The markups are outrageous. Here's what most people don't understand. When you walk through any retail nursery, they bought everything they're selling from wholesale suppliers at rock bottom prices. Then they mark it up 200 to 300%. You end up paying double, sometimes triple, for the exact same products. But there's another problem beyond just the price. You don't get choices. The nursery only stocks what they decide will sell. You're limited to what's available on their shelves, not what you actually want to grow. If they don't carry a particular heirloom tomato variety or a rare pepper that thrives in your climate, you're stuck. What if you could eliminate that middle person completely? What if you had direct access to the exact same suppliers that feed plants to commercial operations and famous botanical gardens? What if you could choose from thousands more varieties at prices that make your current expenses look ridiculous? That's what I'm showing you today. 8 legitimate, real-world places to source seeds and plants. These aren't sketchy operations or shady websites. These are the exact suppliers that the gardening industry relies on. I'm going to take you from beginner-friendly options all the way up to insider sources that most casual gardeners never even discover. Stick around until the very end because source number 1 is completely free and will blow your mind. Hidden place number 1. Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Let me start with something accessible but absolutely incredible. Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds operates out of Mansfield, Missouri. If you've never encountered them, prepare yourself for an amazing experience. This company is basically a treasure chest for the gardening world. They specialize in rare and heirloom varieties. We're talking thousands of options that you won't find anywhere else. Purple carrots, heirloom beans from the 1800s, tomato varieties that barely anyone knows exist anymore. All of their seeds are open-pollinated and completely non-GMO. Here's what that means for you. You can save these seeds year after year after year. You're not locked into buying new seeds every single season. For people growing in containers or dealing with limited space, they have dwarf varieties and patio-friendly options. Compact tomato plants, mini melon varieties that produce amazing fruit and raised beds. You're not trying to squeeze a 6-foot-tall tomato plant into a tiny pot and watching it struggle. Now let's talk money, because this is where it gets really good. Baker Creek sells seeds in packets instead of live plants. A single $3 packet can create an entire container garden. Compare that to buying 30 starter plants at $5 each from a nursery. That's $150 versus $3. Do the math yourself. It's absolutely ridiculous. They also publish a gorgeous annual catalog. It's designed like a coffee table book. Beautiful photography, stories about each plant, where it comes from, the history behind it. Reading through their catalog is pure inspiration. You get something else valuable here too. You control the timing. You start your seeds exactly when you want to. This means stronger, healthier plants that are perfectly adapted to your specific growing conditions. Plants you start from seed often outperform nursery transplants because they skip the transplant shock that hurts many plants. One practical tip from my experience,
Order early from Baker Creek. Their popular varieties sell out quickly. When that new catalog drops every year, items disappear faster than concert tickets. If you want access to their best patio-friendly varieties, make your decisions early. Get your order submitted in January or February. Don't wait until March or April when everyone else is panic ordering at the last minute. You'll have first access to everything. Share this video with someone in your life who gardens. They need to know this information.
Hidden place number 2, Seed Savers Exchange. Now let's talk about something different. Seed Savers Exchange is located in Decorah, Iowa. This one operates on a completely different model than everything else I'm mentioning today. It's actually a non-profit organization. Their mission is focused entirely on preserving garden heritage. They concentrate specifically on heirloom and open-pollinated seeds. These are varieties that your grandparents or even great-grandparents might have been growing before massive commercial hybrids took over the entire market. What makes Seed Savers Exchange truly special goes beyond just having great variety, though they absolutely do. It's the purpose and story connected to everything they offer. Every single seed packet you purchase directly supports the preservation of genetic diversity in our food systems. They're literally rescuing old seed varieties that might vanish forever. This is gardening with real purpose behind it. A lot of us care about more than just getting a harvest. We care about preserving something meaningful. That's what Seed Savers Exchange represents. From a practical perspective, Seed Savers Exchange delivers fantastic value for gardeners working within tight budgets. Most of their seed packets are priced moderately. You're not paying those inflated retail markups that nurseries add. Your money stretches further here. Here's where things get really interesting. Because these seeds are open-pollinated, you can save seeds from your best-performing plants and replant them the following season. You're not stuck in a cycle of buying new seeds every year. You're creating a renewable system that keeps producing value year after year. For container gardeners especially, this is incredibly empowering. You could start with just one basil pot or a few pepper plants. Come harvest time, save those seeds. Next year, free seeds, $0 spent on plants from that point forward. Just soil and water. The process is simple enough that anybody can do it. Find an old seed packet, label it clearly, write the date, write a note about how the plant performed that season, store it somewhere cool and dry. You've just built your own mini seed bank. That's all there is to it. Seed Savers Exchange also organizes seed swaps and community events where members trade different varieties. If you join their membership program, you get access to their member seed exchange. This is where you can request rare varieties directly from other gardeners who've been growing these plants for years. It's like having thousands of gardening friends spread across the country who will mail you seeds. The membership costs about $40 annually, but you get access to varieties that you literally cannot buy anywhere else. Heritage tomatoes from Italy, rare beans from Appalachia, pepper varieties that aren't sold through commercial channels anymore. That's incredible access. Comment below and tell us which plant you'd love to grow that you can't find locally. You never know who might have seeds to share.
Hidden place number 3, Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, flies under the radar with most casual gardeners, but it's absolutely favored by people who take sustainable growing seriously. Southern Exposure Seed Exchange operates out of Mineral, Virginia. They focus on one critical thing that separates them. They specialize in vegetables and herbs specifically bred to handle challenging growing conditions. Heat, humidity, less than perfect soil. Sound like your garden? That describes most of our gardens. What I appreciate most about Southern Exposure is how intentional they are with every single choice. They focus specifically on varieties that manage heat and humidity effectively, varieties that perform well even when your soil isn't perfect. Let's be honest, most of our gardens fall into the less than perfect category. That's just reality. We're not working with perfect conditions. We're working with what we've got. Their pricing remains fair and reasonable. They frequently offer something they call variety packs. These are basically small bundles combining different varieties of the same crop. Let's say you want to experiment with 3 different tomato types, but you don't want to buy 3 separate full-size packets. These bundles give you exactly that. Similar price to buying 1 or 2 regular packets. You get more experimentation, your garden stays interesting, your budget stays healthy. I want to share one practical tip from my own gardening experience. Before you complete your order, look carefully at their shipping costs. They're reasonable in most cases, but if you're ordering several different items, you want to do a quick calculation. Balance that shipping cost against these variety packs. Sometimes, buying more items with a single shipping charge saves much more money than placing smaller orders with multiple shipping fees. It's a small calculation that adds up to real savings if you're working with a limited gardening budget. Southern Exposure represents the kind of company that quietly supports how most of us actually garden. Small scale, thoughtful, sustainable. They're not flashy, they don't push trendy gimmicks or products that don't work, but they absolutely deliver reliable results. Once you try them, you'll probably come back every single season. That's the mark of a company doing things right. Subscribe to Backyard Crops right now if you haven't already. We share tips like this every single week.
Hidden place number 4, Botanical Interests. Source number 4 isn't super mysterious, but it's criminally overlooked. Botanical Interests operates out of Broomfield, Colorado. What makes them genuinely special? Their seed packets are basically mini growing classes. The packet flap has detailed instructions printed directly on it. Spacing requirements, sunlight needs, harvest timing, common mistakes to avoid. It's like holding a pocket lesson for every single crop you want to grow. I want to share something personal. Years ago, I bought beautiful heirloom seeds from a premium supplier. The seeds looked amazing, the packaging was beautiful, but there were no instructions. I planted them too deep, I overwatered them, I didn't space them correctly. Basically, I made every rookie mistake in the book. Half never sprouted, total disaster. If I'd started with Botanical Interests, their packets would have guided me through every single step. I would have succeeded on my first try. The germination quality is consistently solid. I've been using their herb seeds for 3 seasons now. Basil, cilantro, rosemary. Never had a single failure. Their design and presentation is beautiful too. Clean layouts, clear labeling, easy to read fonts. But this isn't just about looking nice. The information they provide actually helps you avoid the common mistakes that frustrate beginner gardeners. Overwatering, planting too deep, wrong spacing, poor sun exposure. They address all of it. If you're growing in containers or dealing with small raised beds, their packets tell you exactly how deep to plant, how often to water, and which varieties stay naturally compact. Price-wise, they're positioned really competitively. You're not paying for a fancy brand name markup. Their website has a zone finder tool. Enter your zip code, and it shows recommended planting dates for your specific region. That's incredibly helpful for beginners who don't know when to start seeds indoors versus direct seeding outdoors. They have a rewards program. Every purchase earns points toward free seeds. If you're buying multiple packets anyway, sign up first. I've earned over $40 in free seeds just from regular orders. That's real money staying in your wallet. It adds up. Hidden place number 5, University Extension Programs. Now we're getting into really interesting territory. Most gardeners have absolutely no idea that state university agricultural extension programs sell seeds and plants directly to the public. Penn State, Cornell University in New York, University of California, Davis, Texas A&M, they all run programs that offer research-tested varieties at near wholesale prices. This is the hidden gold mine that most people completely miss. Why does this matter? These aren't random seeds that some company thinks might work. These are varieties tested in actual university research trials. Germination rates are documented, disease resistance is proven, yield data is recorded. When you buy from Penn State's extension program, you're getting seeds that survived rigorous testing in your exact climate zone. Studies show university-tested varieties produce 30 to 40% higher yields compared to general retail seeds. That's not marketing hype. That's published research. You can verify it yourself. Google your state plus university plus seed program. Most run annual sales, typically February through April. Sign up for their mailing lists now because inventory sells out fast. Prices are shockingly low, often 50 to 70% cheaper than what nurseries charge. Universities aren't profit-driven, they're education-focused.
Extension offices frequently offer free workshops on seed saving, preservation, and storage. You learn proper techniques from actual horticultural experts instead of just guessing. They teach you how to avoid genetic drift. They show you how to maintain variety purity. They explain proper seed curing techniques. This is a complete game changer for anyone serious about building their own seed collection year after year. Hidden place number 6, specialty plant societies. Source number 6 is something most casual gardeners never discover. We're talking about specialty plant societies. Organizations like the North American Rock Garden Society, the Hardy Plant Society, the Seed Savers Exchange Member Network. These are membership-based communities where serious growers trade rare and hard-to-find varieties that commercial companies don't carry. Picture this scenario. You want a specific alpine perennial that tolerates cold winters and thrives in containers. Nurseries don't stock it because there's simply not enough demand. But somewhere inside the Rock Garden Society, someone has been growing this plant for 10 years and saved seeds. They'll send you a packet for $2 or even trade for something you're growing. This is access to genetics you literally cannot buy anywhere else on Earth. We're talking about heirloom tomatoes from Italy, rare peppers from Peru, medicinal herbs that are basically extinct commercially. The variety is absolutely mind-boggling. Here's your strategy for accessing this. Join 1 or 2 societies that match your specific interests. Annual memberships range from $20 to $50. Most have online seed exchanges where members list available varieties. You browse, you request what you want, you pay minimal shipping. Some operate on an honor system. You send seeds, they send seeds. Zero money exchanged. It's built on trust and mutual respect. Societies publish yearbooks and newsletters with growing guides written by experts who've been cultivating these plants for decades. The knowledge alone is worth the membership cost. People are sharing decades of experience for essentially nothing. Make sure you're subscribed to Backyard Crops. We're sharing more insider gardening knowledge every week.
Hidden place number 7 is wholesale grower networks. We're getting into serious insider territory now. Source number 7 is wholesale grower cooperatives and bulk seed networks. These are the actual suppliers that nurseries and garden centers buy from. Companies like Johnny Selected Seeds Wholesale Division out of Maine, Harris Seeds in New York, Stoke Seeds. Most people don't realize you can buy directly from them without a business license. Here's the secret that nurseries definitely don't want you knowing. Many wholesale suppliers allow individual purchases if you hit minimum order amounts, usually $50 to $100. That sounds like a lot, but remember, you're buying at the same prices commercial growers pay. A 1-pound bag of lettuce seeds that would cost you over $300 in retail packets costs $25 wholesale. That's enough lettuce to feed your neighborhood for 2 years. The savings are absolutely insane once you start buying in larger quantities. Here's how to actually shop wholesale. Visit supplier websites and look for sections specifically labeled for individual growers or home gardeners. Many have carved out specific areas for non-commercial buyers. Compare unit pricing carefully. Sometimes buying a 1-ounce pack is 10 times cheaper per seed than retail packets. Consider splitting orders with gardening friends or neighbors to hit minimums while keeping costs reasonable per person. Pay attention to germination rate listings. Wholesale suppliers publish this data transparently. Retail companies almost never do. Wholesale suppliers often clearance previous year inventory in late fall. Germination rates are still excellent for 2 to 3 years if stored properly, but prices drop 40 to 60%. That's when I stock up. You can build an entire seed collection for pennies on the dollar just by timing your purchases right. Share this video. Your gardening friends need this information. Hidden place number 8 is government seed banks. We've covered 7 incredible hidden sources that could legitimately transform your gardening and keep money in your wallet. But source number 8 is the one that professional growers, botanical gardens, and serious hobbyists guard like state secrets. I almost didn't include it because it honestly feels like sharing insider information that wasn't meant for the general public. But you've stuck with me this far, and you deserve the absolute best information available. This source is completely free.
You won't believe it actually exists. Source number 8 is international seed banks and government agricultural preservation programs. We're talking about the USDA's GRIN database, that stands for Germplasm Resource Information Network, national seed banks in Canada, the UK, Australia. These are massive government-funded repositories created specifically to preserve global plant genetics. Here's what almost nobody knows. You can request seeds directly from them, for free or with only minimal processing fees. Why is this number 1 on my list? Because you're accessing genetic material that took decades, sometimes centuries, to collect and preserve. Varieties adapted to extreme climates, drought-resistant landraised plants, disease-proof heirlooms that are completely extinct in commercial markets. The USDA GRIN database alone contains over 500,000 seed accessions. That's 500,000 varieties you cannot find anywhere else on this planet. Here's exactly how to access this goldmine. Visit the GRIN Global Database online, search by crop type, search by climate adaptation, search by specific traits you need. When you find something interesting, request a small quantity. Usually they'll send 10 to 50 seeds per variety for research purposes, or conservation. There's absolutely no cost beyond shipping. Typically $5 to $10, that's it. Now, there is one small catch. You need to provide basic information about your growing setup and agree to share feedback on performance. It's not complicated, they just want to know how these varieties actually perform in real-world conditions. This is how botanical gardens and universities access rare plants. Now you can too.
Action steps you need to take today. Let's do a quick recap of everything. You now have 8 hidden sources that could save you hundreds of dollars. Source 1 is Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, offering rare heirloom varieties and free catalogs. Source 2 is Seed Savers Exchange, preserving heritage through open pollinated seeds you can save year after year. Source 3 is Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, specializing in regional climate varieties perfect for challenging conditions. Source 4 is Botanical Interests, providing beginner-friendly packets with detailed instructions built right in. Source 5 is University Extension Programs, offering research-tested varieties at wholesale prices with free workshops. Source 6 is Specialty Plant Societies, facilitating rare seed exchanges and expert knowledge from serious growers. Source 7 is Wholesale Grower Cooperatives, providing commercial pricing available to home gardeners. Source 8 is Government Seed Banks, offering free access to 500,000 varieties preserved for future generations. Here are your 3 action steps. Do these right now. Don't wait. First, bookmark at least 3 of these sources before this video ends. Seriously, pause and do it now. Second, calculate how much you spent on seeds and plants last year. I guarantee you'll spend 50 to 70% less using these sources. Third, start with Source 4 or Source 1 if you're new to seed starting. They're the most beginner-friendly with clear instructions and reliable results. Bonus value. Seed saving simplified. Here's some bonus value for sticking with me until the end. Once you start buying from these sources, you'll want to save seeds properly. It's simpler than you probably think. For dry seeds like beans, peas, and lettuce, just let the pods dry completely on the plant. Harvest them on a sunny day. Store them in paper bags in a cool, dry place. They'll stay viable for 2 to 3 years easily. For wet seeds like tomatoes and cucumbers, you need to ferment them first. Scoop the seeds and gel into a jar. Add water. Let it sit for 3 to 4 days until it gets bubbly and a film forms on top. The good seeds sink to the bottom. The bad seeds float. Pour off the floating ones. Rinse the good seeds thoroughly. Dry them on paper towels for 1 to 2 days. Then store in labeled envelopes or jars. That's it. You've just created your own seed supply for next year at zero cost. Label everything clearly. Write the plant name, write the date you saved them, add a note about how the plant performed. This information becomes incredibly valuable when you're planning next season. You'll remember which varieties produced the most food, which ones handled heat best, which tasted amazing. If this video just saved you hundreds of dollars, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps more gardeners discover this information. Subscribe to Backyard Crops for more money-saving gardening secrets. Drop a comment below telling me which source you're trying first. I'll personally reply with my best shopping tips for that specific site. I read every single comment, and I love helping you succeed. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. Remember this, the best garden is the one you can actually afford to grow. These 8 sources give you exactly that, professional quality seeds and plants without the professional prices. You've got this now. Go build the garden you've always wanted without breaking the bank. I'll see you in the next Backyard Crops video.